year 2071 on Earth, where humans were known as Arlen. Due to the internal electric war that happened 20 years ago, many types of diseases spread on Earth. Like, everyone is affected. This was started by a scientist named Charon, who wanted to take over the whole universe with the help of his deadly weapons. And now Charon is the most dangerous prisoner in the world, who is imprisoned in an underground present of the Earth. After this, we are shown a boy named Anti, who is a water eater. He was standing in a line to fill the form, but suddenly a pillar falls on him. He somehow manages to escape from the pillar, but we are shown that the pillar did not fall on its own, but a mysterious creature made it fall on him with the help of its power. The name of this creature is Valia, who was Charon's daughter. Valia projects herself in a specific-looking present near Charon. We learn that Charon assigned Vala the task of obtaining the entrance DNA, but she kept failing. This was delaying the completion of Charon's invention called protein, which was his last chance to escape jail. To finish this invention, anti-DNA cells were crucial because Charon was the last person with this protein cell. Charon even instructs his daughter, Walia, to kill Anton if necessary, which Walia dislikes. Charon? The jail was deep underground, while a spaceship looking like a flower was in the sky right above the Earth. This spaceship was a stadium where a sport called Cosmoball was played. In this game, a team of 4 people used to score a goal by kicking an energy ball called a Waywaiter 5 times. This game was an intergalactic game where people from other planets also participated. The players of the Earth's team were dominating the other team despite being less in numbers. And this game of Cosmogall was being cast on big screens all over the world and was becoming a source of entertainment for everyone. But on the other hand, the Enter was upset with all this, that everyone was leaving their work and wasting their time in watching this game. He says that instead of watching this game, it would be better if this time is spent somewhere else. At the stadium, we see that both the teams were giving very good blows to each other. But the balls with which they were playing are not ordinary balls, but weapons of the feet, which were called Chanda. He is sending it away from the Earth. In this scene, we observe Charon gaining control over a bull and harming 2 guards. Once the bulls become aware of this situation, they halt the game and manage to bring the waiter under their control, who is then sent back to the playing field, allowing the game to resume. The game is tied, but this marks the first occasion when the team from Earth manages to delve into the game's finances. Witnessing this, Charon becomes furious as yet another powerful weapon he crafted has been reduced to a mere stone. Later that night, when Anton returns home, he notices his mother's health worsening. He hurries to the pharmacy to buy her medicine. There, he encounters a girl named Anya, and together they enter the pharmacy. However, just then the police show up, and Anton ends up committing the theft all by himself. He comes in front of them with the medicine so that they don't look for the others, and he can escape from them. As soon as he dodges the policeman, he collides with a truck. When the police officer checks in front of the truck, he finds nothing except medicines. Those people get confused and leave from there. In this scene, we discover that the truck driver was actually Walia, who had cleverly disguised herself as Roop. Later, it is revealed that Walia is indeed Anya, who had entered the house alongside him. The shock and fear from the accident triggered Anton's powers, which turned out to be teleportation, causing him to be teleported a few days from his original location. In the guise of Anya, Walia takes Anton to her hidden basement. There, she attempts to get closer to Anton and shares with him her disdain for the Makbul game. Anton, in a playful manner, tugs on his own hair, attempting to draw out his breath, but because the amount is so minuscule, his invention fails to produce any result. Meanwhile, when Enter arrives at his home, he notices that Anton, along with the other team members, are present as well. Anton, quite impressed by Enter's teleportation abilities, extends an invitation for him to join their team. However, Enter declines, explaining that he is not fond of the cosmos and prefers to remain here to care for his ailing mother. It is said that their member Natasha then tells Anton that they will treat his mother. If Anton joins the team, she convinces them both. When Anton boards the spaceship, he's amazed by everything. They collect his DNA and prepare a Spotnik for him. Spotnik is a robot, Anton's Game Gear and real-life companion. Every player on Team Antony had an expert made from their DNA. Anton feels quite nervous at the start of practice, but over time he manages to control his abilities. Impressed by this progress, Anton is asked to participate in the upcoming games, and then he heads to an intercollective meeting with Natasha. During this meeting, he requests everyone's assistance in discovering the cause of Anton's illness. He explains to everyone how Adam is an exceptionally talented athlete. Now we observe that, on one hand, Natasha is doing her utmost to become closer to Adam. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Auntie is exploiting Anton's disdain for Cosmoball. Auntie provides him with a poison capable of destroying the entire ship. Auntie quietly kisses Anton and hands him the poison. Auntie becomes suspicious of Auntie and informs Auntie that she scans for any threats that might challenge her honor and acts accordingly. During the scan conducted before the game, nobody discovers the poison. As Entron prepares, the poison somehow slips beneath his gloves. Once everyone has departed, Entron lets it fall onto the spaceship's surface. In the stadium, Entron notices a large crowd of people enthusiastically cheering for him. On Earth, Anton's mother was sitting alongside a police officer, eagerly waiting to watch Anton's game. As the game begins, Anton stays seated on the sidelines. This causes the spectators, who came to watch the game, to start yelling at him. The game is halted, and the officer takes Anton aside to explain the situation. He tells Anton that Cosmo Global is far more than a mere game. It represents the last hope for everyone. Upon learning this, Anton recognizes his error and rushes to the location where Anton is desperately trying to protect himself from the king's unruly invention. He had destroyed the city, and after reaching there, it is found that the poison has already spread in the entire stadium. Hand Wand goes inside the stadium and starts screaming, after which the first people notice the poison. They try to detonate it there, but due to it being very powerful, it does not stop from spreading in every ship. To avoid damage, the ships automatically start separating. Natasha tries to extinguish all the other people, but a waveter starts moving towards her. Antone, seeing this, goes towards her to save her, but gets unconscious due to hitting the waveter. When he regains consciousness, he immediately goes to others. He sets out to discover all these things, leading him to uncover the truth about others. Meanwhile, Walia renders Anton unconscious and gathers his DNA. Anton senses the threat, but his spot approaches him and he expends all his energy to save Anton. Karen then activates the invention using Antony's DNA, linking a massive molesome hole to himself, allowing him to gain full control. Antony's DNA let him smite moles. He goes out in this manner. We then observe that Anton has arrived at Hoke. Both Natasha and the bulls are standing close to him. However, Charon then calls out to the bulls with his voice, referring to him as his creator. And he says that you should support me so that we can rule this whole universe. Natasha gets confused hearing this, that why did Charon call Oxen his creator? Natasha asks this to Oxen, but he doesn't give her any answer. After this, Oxen tells everyone about the secret of Cosmosmo Global, that how it is not just a game, but a fight, which is saving the whole world from Charon's invention. Antinous was very sad about everything. He was sad about his mistakes, due to which so much loss was happening, and the tone was set on his own. He lies down on the ground with the bullocks where his help comes, and explains to him that people living on Earth make mistakes, but the real human being is the one who corrects his mistakes. Here Natasha again asks the bullocks the same question, that why did Charon call the bullocks his creator? Now the bulls had no option but to tell him the truth. He tells that Charon is the biggest failure. The bulls had made Charon their accuser like a spear who would help them in everything. The bulls had also put physics inside Charon, but he could not show the right direction to that physics. Due to which, the thoughts of both of them started to differ, and an interrelated war took place 20 years ago. After this, we see that Charon attacks the Earth with the newly created wave iterator. All of the athletes are attempting to eliminate the wave eater. Meanwhile, in space, intergalactic ships are trying to halt Charon, but he defeats them with great ease. Prithvi and Natasha are observing everything that's happening. They continue to pursue Charon from the stadium ship. Back on Earth, the athletes are gradually getting injured, and these wave eaters begin causing chaos. When Antonin notices all of these things happening, he attempts to alert the police officer. Anton decides to confront the way waitresses by himself, where he encounters one way waiter and ends up clashing with another, causing him to fall down. The Tone's Sputnik detects the situation and swiftly approaches him, activating the better mode. With its power, Tone gradually dismantles all of the way weights. Meanwhile, Balon chooses to confront Charon by giving Natasha a special weapon. As he begins to teleport, Nanhasa joins him, and they both arrive near Charon. Balon reveals his true form, and the battle begins. As Natasha attacks Charon, Vali arrives and captures her. Charon was overpowering Balon. He informs him that by now he has grown to be significantly stronger than the bulls. When the bulls fail to grasp anything, they begin to assault Charon's proteins using their strength. To defend them, Charon creates a large protective shield, yet the bulls persist in their attack, and Charon's body begins to freeze. Just as the bulls are about to obliterate Charon's proteins, Valia intervenes by assuming the form of Nataj. Valia successfully liberates Charon, after which he starts killing the bulls. But just before he could take any action, Anton arrives on the scene, catches Antonwalia, and tells him that if Charon wants to see the bulls alive, he must let them go. Reluctantly, Charon releases the bulls and begins to move towards Anton. At this point, it becomes clear that Charon himself was responsible for killing his daughter. He was trapped there because of a deadly attack and couldn't make a phone call to anyone for help. In a desperate move, he throws a snowball to distract Charon, which enrages Charon, leading him to kill the bulls. Taking advantage of this opportunity, the control connects with that motion because somewhere they both have the same DNA. This motion runs angrily like an atom, but being an atom, instead of running away, it stops there and confronts it. Seeing that the Moseral atom is not running, it stops. Both start to gaze at each other. Interno tells the screener about the destruction he's caused. The screener responds by attacking Andon, but then gently caresses both screeners, gaining their trust. Charon loses control and throws himself out, landing directly into the ball, where he burns to death. How Natasha also finds her way to freedom. Natasha and Anton celebrate and go back to Earth, where we see that the wave printer had also stopped. After some time, everything is made better than before under Natasha's supervision. Natasha says here that now is not the time to waste life, but to live life to the fullest. And with this, the film ends here. Friends, how did you like our explanation of this film? Please